I would be committing interviewer malpractice if I didn't go back to that gem that you just dropped a little bit earlier about your personal mantra, MIATA, make it
Yes.
about them always,
That's
which
right.
it sounds like it was a lesson that you learned from your days in sales and wanting to make it about your customers. But from what I'm hearing, you've kind of translated that into your new work in education and public service. So what does MIATA mean in your work in the education sector? Is who is the them? Is the superintendents you serve? Is it the students? Is it the parents? What does MIATA look like now in your new role?
Yeah, no, great question. Because originally it started out as basically making it about the students first.
Mm-hmm.
When I worked for the different companies, we were always providing products or services that were going to help improve outcomes for students out there. And it was them. It was basically making decisions with them, the students in mind. Now it's about making it about them, our principals, our central office administrators, our superintendents, making it about them, helping them to actually be able to get the resources that they need, the training that actually needs to happen, the representation that we need in all the classrooms. It's about them. And the only reason why it's about them and not the students necessarily is because the students need to see more of them so they can see
Mm-hmm.
themselves and see themselves growing into these roles, because we're underrepresented, to be quite honest with you. I think actually in the principalship, in central office, as well as in the superintendency. So yeah, the them is kind of shifted that way. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it does fall back on the students, because if we have more of them running the office and kind of running superintendency in the districts, we'll have more students aspiring to that.
I mean, speaking of your private sector experience, what you just brought up there sounds pretty similar to what I've heard a lot of CEOs say about who's most important to them, right? I've heard CEOs say before when asked like what's the most important group in their company, and you'd think they'd say the customers,
Mhm.
and they almost always say the employees. And I've even heard some CEOs say, I don't even think about the customers. I think about the employees, because if I make sure the employees are happy and taken care of and have what they need, they're going to take care of the customers,
Absolutely.
because they're the ones interacting with the customers more regularly. And so, right, your focus is on empowering your superintendents so that they can empower the students, and the administrators, so that those folks can empower the students and be effective for them. I mean, that sounds like some good private sector thinking that you were
Yeah.
able to bring into your new role here at Alas.
Yeah, it's a very Richard Branson-esque type of approach to this, from Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Global, Virgin, International, whatever it is, Galactic, I think is what he's up to now. But realistically, if we don't take care of our folks at the top, they can't take care of our kids at the bottom. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's a very variable approach that way there too. It also speaks to the types of partnerships and sponsors and supporters that we need, the allies that we need across the world. Is if we keep them happy, they can continue to create wonderful things that'll help outcomes for our students also.